Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now let's start with the Black Queens because the draw for the final round of qualifiers for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations have been done, and Ghana will face Egypt in the second round of the qualifiers. Now the Black Queens will begin their quest for back-to-back AFCON tournament with a two-leg game against Egypt later this year. Now this comes following Egypt's win over Rwanda in the first round of qualifiers earlier this week. The North African side came up top in the two games with a 3-2 aggregate score, having booked their place in this year's edition. Kim Last Boykagrin side will be hoping to make it 2 consecutive appearances in the continental showpiece. Now, the team booked a place in Morocco for the 2025 edition under Nora Huptel following their win over Namibia in the last round of qualifiers. The second round games are scheduled to be played between October 20 and 28 of 2025 this year. The 2026 AFCON will also be held in Morocco. So the Black Queens, as they prepare for this year's edition of the tournament, will also be preparing for the qualifiers of next year's edition, which will begin in October of this year. Away from the Black Queens to the Ghana Premier League now, and after some 3 weeks of no action following the recent hooliganism attacks, the Ghana Football Association has confirmed that the Ghana Premier League will return on Friday, March 7, next weekend. The league's return, according to FA, is subject to the safety and security assurance inspection of all venues currently being undertaken by the GFA and the Ministry for Sports and Recreation. The league had been put on hold due to Asante Kotoko requesting for improved measures from the FA following the death of a fan, Francis Danapole Frimpong, during their league game in Nsawatre. Meanwhile, Asante Kotoko earlier this week announced their readiness to return to competitive football after the burial of Pole, which is scheduled for March 6. Now, as part of the league's resumption, the FA has also announced the fixtures for Match Day 20 been fixed for Tuesday, March 18 to Thursday, March 20th. While Match Day 21 games, which also could not come off, will take place across approved venues on Tuesday, April 1st to Thursday, April 3rd. And also the Match Day 22 games will also take place on Tuesday, April 15 to Thursday, April 17. So measures have been put in place to ensure that the games that were not honored will be honored within the timetable of the Ghana Football Association. Now, away from the Ghana Premier League to some athletics, and this time it's school sports. The 33rd Central Regional Athletics Super Zonal is scheduled to start tomorrow, Thursday, at the Cape Coast Stadium. The competition will feature over 25 schools in the region across various track and field events. Joy Sports editor Natala Lato was at the Cape Coast Stadium earlier today ahead of the event and has more in this report.
Well, these tracks and that pitch is where we'll see all of the action in the much-awaited Central Regional Athletics competition for second cycle institutions. This is a traditional sports competition where most of the talents that eventually become national stars are developed. There's an age-long rivalry that will be talked about a great deal when tomorrow comes and when the competition begins. One of the most important things is that we're going to see an electrifying atmosphere in the stands. What we also see there are some students who are trying to get some therapy and also inspire themselves psychologically as they get themselves ready for the big competition. But the key talking points here at the Cape Coast Stadium amongst the students and everyone else here will be some key talents, including Joseph Ando of Infantipim School, who became the overall best athlete for Zone 3. Now, he is a champion in the 100 meters and 200 meters events. And of course, in the girls' competition, everybody will be talking about Believe Makafui of Ifutu Sektek. Now, she is multi-talented and takes part in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters events. everyone will be looking forward to what Believe will be able to do here on these very big tracks. We can also talk about the age-long rivalry between Infantsipim School and St. Augustine's College. Well, Infantsipim School overpowered St. Augustine's College and won the Zone 3 championships and are coming in with a lot of confidence. We can also talk about Adesado College, who won the Zone 1 competition and are coming here to prove that they are the true champions. Of course, we do not really see Wesley Girls and Holy Child establishing the dominance that we've known them for. That dominance has been taken over by Edinaman Senior High School, and they have to be watched out greatly when the competition begins here at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. So it's all ready to go. The pitch is looking lush green for all of the field action, and the stands will be filled with students who are eagerly wanting to support their respective athletes to reach for the top. We will be here to bring you all of the records when they are set and all of the big moments when they happen. So let's look forward to it, and you follow us on television and on radio and online and on social media as well. Nathaniel Atto from the center of the Cape Coast Sports Stadium for Joy News, Joy Sports and Joy Prime.
Well, looking forward to that big event tomorrow at the Cape Coast Stadium. Also in Kumasi, the athletics competition among the schools was also be kicking off. We'll bring you updates on those competitions that will be taking place among the schools. But the Deputy Education Minister designated, Dr. Clement Abasa Park, has reiterated the ministry's commitment to finding innovative ways to fund and revitalize school sports. Now, the impact of school sports on talent development has declined drastically in recent years, mainly due to a lack of funds to organize competitions and nurture young athletes. Dr. Park revealed that the Education Ministry, led by Karela United owner Haruna Idrisu, will explore private sector partnerships to increase funding for school sports.
Sports is a very important activity, not just because it keeps us fit, but it's also a source of great entertainment. I have been a sports person, sportsman myself. I mean, I played volleyball. One of my playing colleagues is seated right by the chairman. I played football. I played table tennis. My younger brother, who is here, played basketball all the way to the national level. And you are right. It is not the way it used to be. And that should be a cause of worry. My minister is a sports enthusiast himself. He plays football himself. And I think the challenge we face, as you rightly alluded to, is funding and its inadequacy. Given that he's a sports person himself, I believe very strongly that he would find ingenious ways to get private sector involvement to support sports in our schools, even as we look at what we can do to provide some support as a nation for sport and sporting activities to go on in our school system. Sports cannot be neglected. A very important activity that ought to be supported. We all do it. We buy the footballs, the jerseys, and we provide the funding to support the district directorates of education to organize sporting activities. It's a problem that we must look at and address.
One of Black Star's finest players, Mohamed Kudus now, and he's expressed his commitment to supporting, and privileged footballers in Africa by creating more opportunities for them in sports. The Ghanaian midfielder who grew up in Nima overcame numerous challenges to reach the top and starting his journey with local club Strong Towers before joining the Right to Dream Academy in 2010. Kudus has since built an impressive career playing for Northland, Ajax, and currently West Ham in the English Premier League. At just 24, his rise from Nima to East London has been defined by determination, perseverance, and sacrifice. He's been speaking to rising ballers about the changes he hopes to make to the life of many young African sports. And he's clearly unhappy about the current decline of the club there, but they're currently in the top 4 and also in the run to win the Conference League. So we'll see how things do fare. But that's all we have for you on Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbah. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Thank you very much for your company. Coming up next is PM Express. Please do stay tuned.